Hi, and welcome to Diversity in the Community. I am so blessed today. I've seen this young lady in a lot of different places that I've gone, but I didn't know her, but I always saw people smiling and trying to take a picture with her and everything. And I'm like, who is this lady? And then I finally got some information on her. And I said again that I'm so blessed to have her sitting with me here today. Barbara McClane. Am I saying that right?
Yes, you are.
Welcome to the program,
so
sweetheart.
Much. Thank you.
I'm so glad you came. I want to tell you a little bit about her, and then I'll let her talk about herself, but I got to say it first because I was so impressed when I read. She's a best-selling author, photographer, visual artist, and community advocate. I was so excited to get her book that I read 100 and some pages. I read 100 and some pages of this book on last night, and I didn't want to, except I had to get up and come in here today. I did not want to put the book down. So Barbara, welcome, and I want you to just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, that's the hardest question I think ever I've been asked. Like, tell us a little bit about yourself. So, I live in Cromwell. I'm married. I have one cat. And I recently returned back to work after retiring from the state of Connecticut. So my role now is a recovery support specialist, which and I work at Connecticut Valley Hospital.
Okay.
Yeah. So I retired from there in 2022.
Okay.
Yeah, after 17 years.
Wow.
But I made a decision to go back in a different capacity.
Okay.
A new role.
Okay.
And I just love it. I'm just starting my journey. So I'm considered a temporary retiree worker. So I set my own days, Tuesday through Thursday, nothing strenuous, but something that's aligned from my heart that I truly enjoy working with others in recovery. And I don't know if you know, but I'm in recovery.
Yes.
So I've been in long-term recovery. I celebrated 20 years last year.
Wow.
Yeah, so I moved here from New York 22 years ago. And found a whole new life right here. They talk about moving sometimes is not good for those who are sometimes in recovery making changes.
Yeah.
But I needed to make a change coming from New York and arriving in Connecticut and making a decision that I wanted to live.
Yeah.
I didn't want to just survive like I was doing in New York. I wanted to live.
Yeah.
And that's what God has been rolling out every day, having me live.
Yes.
Like a truly blessed, not bitter life.
Yeah.
So, I'm a best-selling author of Blessed Not Bitter, the Barbara McClane journey.
Yeah.
And my book came about because I had met my biological family after 60 years. So that happened 2 years ago. Yeah. I was turning 60. And I was just so happy, like, oh my God, I'm turning 60. Like, it was just unbelievable. Coming from the life that I had lived for so long, all those trials and tribulations and triumphs, like arriving at 60 was like, that's a gift, God. Like, thank you.
Oh my God, yes.
But I didn't know what he had in store.
Oh my God.
I thought just turning 60 and surviving that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I thought okay, that's it. He has so much more and a bigger plan.
Yes.
By rolling out
my
family, by me meeting my biological family for the first time in 60 years. Like, that's the best gift I could have ever received.
Oh my God. And when I read your book last night, like I said, I got it from Amazon yesterday. I started reading it right away. It reminded me of a song that my cousin sings. When I look back over my life and I think things over, I can truly say, God has made a way. I got a testimony. And your testimony is amazing. And you wonder sometimes, like, God, why did I have to go through this?
I had to. And I'm learning.
Yeah.
that I had to go through it. It wasn't just for me.
Right.
It is actually someone, and my contact manager, who was on here as well, explained to me that somebody's going to pick up your book, and that book is going to change their life, and you might never know who that person is. But I tell you, since 2022 and being self-published, everyone that I have come in contact with who was able to share a story with me by reading my book has said, you changed my life.
Yes.
But I'm still in awe that it's much more to come.
Oh my God.
It is much, much more. I'm truly blessed. And I know that I am. I don't have to say it. Like, the title is very intentional. Like, I was never bitter. Oh, let me say it this way. There is bitterness. It's a human emotion that God gives us. I just didn't stay bitter. Like, I made a choice not to stay bitter. And even though, like, I had a long history of using drugs, that might have been my bitterness right there. And some of it is towards others, environmental, and definitely to myself as well. More self-inflicted with drug addiction than the outsource. But there's a root cause. And finding, you know, as I continue on in life and do the healing through life, right, on an everyday basis, I get to see, you know, some of the root causes. I didn't have a foundation. I didn't know where I came from. So finding my roots and finding my family, which has been a blessing, and they have been looking for me. It wasn't just me looking for them at one point.
I was going to ask you that. Were they looking for you, or were you trying to find them?
So they have been looking for me. And I knew it was true, because when I first met one of my oldest cousins, Roger, when I first met him, this is what he said. He said, ever since you were born, 12/29, I've always wondered about you. And thereafter, all my family members said, we always looked for you. We loved you. Like, I got siblings. My brother is 76.
Oh my God.
My sister is 71. I have another brother who's 63, and then it's me. Oh, no, he's 64, and I'm 63. And we just lost one of my younger brothers. But a host of nieces and nephews, great nieces, even the little ones. When I met them for the first time in Milwaukee, even the little ones, they had drawings. They gave me their little drawings. They was like, and they called me TT. They was like, TT, we've been waiting for you. Like, how, this is just so precious. So from the oldest to some of the youngest have been holding sacred and loving space for me.
Oh my God.
For 60 years of their life and these little ones,
but you
for
know,
8 and 10.
God's timing
is
not our timing.
It's not our time.
You said 60 years went by, but
man, and you know what? We have not missed a beat.
No.
We've always been connected.
Always,
I have been connected and surrounded by my family. Like, my best friend from kindergarten and my biological mother share the same birthday.
Wow.
You hear me?
That's no
my mother
coincidence.
who raised me, my mom who raised me, and my mother who gave birth to me, they have the same middle name.
Is that something? Look like how those dots were connected.
All along.
Oh,
I grew up in St. Albans, Queens, in New York. And my biological family lived 7 minutes from where I was raised.
No.
They owned a home there in 1958. I came to live in St. Albans, Queens with my foster family in 1962. So I was born in 1960, but I was shuffled around for a little while in the foster care system. And then, and they lived 7 minutes.
Oh,
so I have an aunt.
God.
I have an aunt who lives down in Maryland, and she's my mom's only living sibling. I'm telling you, my family rolled out the red carpet.
Oh,
And
my
even,
God.
I just came back from Milwaukee in January, so I try to go as often as I can. And they have visited me. I spent Thanksgiving with my aunt down in Maryland and all her grands. And I'm telling you, it is beyond the Antoine Fisher story. And I am trying my best to keep the story going.
Yeah.
And one day, my dream is to have it on the movie screen.
I believe that's going to
My
happen. I
dream is to
believe
have it on TV.
Oh, my God.
So, excuse me, every little step that I take, every little step that God places in me to propel me to move this story forward, I am in awe. So thank you. Thank you for being part of the journey of moving Blessed Not Bitter, the Barbara McClane journey. Thank you for pushing it. Thank you for allowing me to be on your show, wanting me to be on the show.
Yes.
You know, that's a gift.
You know how many people have, when I read all the things that you went through, and I didn't even get to the end of the book, how many people didn't survive that?
Exactly. Exactly.
And you're sitting up here looking all beautiful in your,
Well,
in your
thank
nice
you.
blue. And we're laughing and talking, and it's just amazing. It's amazing how God can bring us from, you know, oh my God.
But you know what? He has been with me my entire life.
Yes.
You know, he saw me through birth.
Yeah.
All the way to this day.
Yeah.
You know, so I know that he loves me. I know it.
Mm-hmm.
And even before he even connected me back to my family, I know he did. All of that.
Wow.
Being saved from being a prostitute in New York City on 42nd Street in the 70s.
And you survived it.
That.
Oh my God, you
survived
it.
the crack era. I survived being, you know, a runaway. I survived the prostitution. I survived the drug addiction. You know, I know he loved me. I know it.
Oh my God.
And I mess up probably every day. I do something I ain't supposed to be doing.
Oh yeah,
but
all of us do.
Yeah, but man, the grace and the mercy that he has shown me, unbelievable. And so, you know, just the gifts that he gives me every day. And as he gives me gifts, I get to give out gifts as well.
Right.
And that's, I think, just what makes the world go round.
There's a purpose in his plan.
Oh, man, and I'm just walking right in it, and I'm happy about all that is happening.
Yeah.
I have learned to turn away from when something does not go the way that I feel it should go. There's a lesson in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
When I don't receive what I think I'm supposed to receive, there is a lesson in it, you know? So I'm blessed, and everywhere I go, I'm telling you, I'm talking about this story here.
Yeah.
You know, it is, you know what, when it first started happening, I couldn't keep it to myself. It was too much. I could feel the energy, like every time I wept up, or every time I thought about, oh my God, I felt my biological feel like we're connected. It would be a surge of heat going through my body. I was like, you can't keep this to yourself. You have to let the world know that their God is on the throne.
Yes, he
and
is.
he
Yes,
will,
he
you know,
is.
like, just hold on.
Yeah.
And that's the primary part of my story. Just hold on.
Hold on.
Hold on, because when you think,
I know.
you know, Theresa, when you think that he is not, man, he just shows up.
Yes.
He just shows up with a blessing.
Shows up.
You know, so I came by way of writing the book, being compelled after meeting my family. But I watched this documentary called Closure on Prime Video.
Okay.
And it was an African-American woman who was raised by a Jewish family. And she wanted to know where she came from. And I sat there and watched that documentary, and I started sobbing. She had did 23andMe, and that was the spark. Like, you know what? go find your family.
Yeah.
You do it.
Yeah.
I got an accountability partner, and I was telling her about it. I told my wife about it, and anyone that in my close circle that I made the announcement, like, you know what, I'm gonna do Ancestry and see who's out there for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Everybody was like, yeah, go ahead and do it. My wife had encouraged me for years. You don't ever want to meet your family? Do you ever want to go search? You should get on Oprah. You should do this. And I was like, no, I'm okay, you know. But deep down, the little girl inside of me was not okay.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like she really did want to know where she came from.
Yeah.
And once I met my family, I found out, because I had been searching and I had given up, you know, through my years of addiction and moving and being in treatment, being in jail. You know, that kind of stuff just falls by the wayside. It gets buried deep down inside. And when I made the decision to do it, and after telling everybody that I wanted to do it, there was like a relief inside of me that I began to feel, you know.
Yeah.
And once I did the Ancestry, and I started getting little hits on in my email. You know, like I started welcoming it, like, okay, God, what's next? You know, and I started documenting it, and I journal often. But at that particular time, like I was journaling a lot because there was a lot of emotions that was coming up. The waiting. Okay, could this be true? Could I find my family like that young lady did on TV? Could that? But I stayed in the positivity. I stayed in, I can find my family. I will find my family. You know, God will give you what you need. So I stayed with those happy thoughts, that prayer, and thanking God like every morning. I still have my journals, like they are my sacred ones right there. Like I hold on to. I make sure they're always somewhere where I can find them, because I'm always journaling. So I got books, all journal books around the house. But you know, I always start off like, dear God, like, thank you, you know. So I was thanking him all along the way. And in July of 2021, when I met my family for the first time on Zoom, like to see those faces that look like me.
Oh my God.
Those faces, they look just like me, you know,
my
with the
goodness.
smile, oh my God, and the emotions, like we were all sitting there crying on there.
Oh my
We were smiling and crying. It was just.
Your mom was also on the.
She was not.
Oh,
so
she
my
wasn't.
mother died in
Okay.
1995. I want to say.
Okay.
But so I favor her. I should have brought my picture. I favor her. It's just
knowing that you wasn't, and knowing that you wasn't in this world alone. That all those people there were loving you, looking for you,
looking for me all that time, and it was a name difference. So my mother abandoned me, and the hospital ended up naming me after her.
Okay.
So there was times that I would search for my mother.
Yeah.
And I would search for the name that was on the birth certificate.
Yeah.
She was in a common law relationship with a gentleman, and she used his last name.
Okay.
She went by that. There's no record to say that they were ever married. So back in the day, you can live and have, you know, you can do that kind of stuff, you know? And so that's the name that I searched for, because that's the name on my birth certificate.
Okay.
But there's no record of her with that name.
Okay.
So I found out with, like once I met my siblings and my brothers and sisters, they told me, you know. An amazing journey.
Yes.
And, you know, so documenting my whole story, and I've been documenting not just this here, but I'm a photographer as well, and I have a studio in Bristol, Connecticut, and I've been a photographer since 2017.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And so I, you know, being a visual artist, a writer,
What is a visual artist?
Part of being a photographer
Oh,
as
okay.
well.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
All right.
or a visionary artist, because I
Okay.
see things and
Yeah.
I create stuff.
Yeah.
And so I've been documenting, and
Mm-hmm.
I help document other people's lives as well.
Okay.
And so I do a project every year for
Okay.
Women's History Month, and we're about to roll it out today
Okay.
as I leave here. And I do it on social media. So every year since 2019, I created I Am Woman.
Okay.
And I Am
reason,
Woman
yeah.
is it is honoring 31 women for the month of March. And
Okay.
every day a woman is selected.
Okay.
So the project goes into effect around January.
Okay.
We begin to create.
Mm-hmm.
So I work with another team. I work with this year I worked with Every Kind of Lady, and I worked with creative.
Zima.
Yes, yeah. And I worked for the last couple of years with Creative Influence,
Okay.
Tara Keys,
Okay.
who is the graphic designer.
Yeah, I know Tara too.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So they are part of the I Am Woman project, and other women have Hillary Brown, Sonda Weston. They have been part of the project as well.
Okay,
But this
okay.
year, me, Tara, and Nzima worked closely together to
Okay.
create I Am Woman.
Okay.
And so we highlight women
Okay.
who are doing things in the community.
Okay.
By having a photo shoot. We also have a celebration in April to honor
Okay.
them. And every year it is a different theme.
Mm-hmm.
And this year's theme is called The Labor of Love.
Oh, wow.
And sometimes I get the initiative from people that I talk to. And last year I was at an event, at a networking event, and I met this woman. I want to say she's Pakistani, and we were talking, and she was just asking me, what do I do? I was telling her I was a photographer, and I was telling her a little bit, the I Am Woman.
Yeah.
And I was so she was sharing a little bit about herself, and
Okay.
this year's theme came from her life. She was telling
Okay.
me how she's a mom and she has a daughter that she cares for who's autistic.
Okay.
And I was like, you know what? Later on, I said, you know what? Maybe that'll be the theme this year. How about highlight
Caretaker.
women who take care, because it's a lot. It is a lot to
Yeah.
care for someone with a disability.
Yes, it is.
Like your child might have it, but they might want to put the child in a facility, but they didn't make that
That's
choice.
right.
They're raising their child as their own, and you'll be surprised. Well, not so much you'll be surprised, but I was in awe of the women who came forth and nominated somebody or nominated themselves. Usually me, Tara, and whoever else is working on the team will pick the women, mainly Tara, because she knows, seems like everybody,
Yeah.
right? This year, I made a decision to ask Facebook, ask the social media community,
Okay.
hey, do you know anyone that you would like to nominate for the Labor of Love Award? And
Wow.
they started nominating. So I didn't get 31 as I wished. I got 26, and I'm happy. I am so, so happy. So every year, and so since 2019, last year's theme, or one year's theme was Rosie the Riveter. Roll up your sleeve and get in there and do what you have to do. Last year's theme was crowns. Women wore flower crowns around their head for women who pour. That was the name of the theme.
Yeah.
So
That's beautiful.
Yeah, I look forward to it every year.
Oh my God!
It is.
Somebody coming in my mind already.
Well, listen, if it is, please just I could send you the link because I still have room. I'm still shooting. So I have a studio. This is my third studio I have worked
Wow.
out of.
Wow.
The first one was my home in Cromwell, Connecticut.
Wow.
I used to work in my basement. And then God said, nope, you need a bigger room. And then I went to New Britain, Connecticut. I had a little space there. And then COVID hit. Thank you, Adrienne Elliott. She is the curator of 66 West Main Street Gallery in New Britain. And they allowed me to utilize their area.
Okay.
And then when we had COVID, it shut down. And then I just went out on my own and found me a nice little studio in Bristol with an office and a studio.
You
So
live in Bristol?
I don't. I live in Cromwell, but the
okay.
studio is in Bristol. But it had what I was looking for.
Okay.
You know, I was looking for something with a big a parking lot that when my clients come, they can park in the parking lot, not
Okay.
on the street. I was looking for an office where I can have consultations.
Okay.
And then I was looking for a separate room to do the studio.
Okay.
And it was perfect, you know, exactly what I need. So I dabbled in, I landed in photography because my brother and I, who I was raised with, him and I had gotten into something. And I stopped seeing the beauty of the world. And when things like that happen, when loss, because I have a tough time dealing with loss, even if you're alive and we lose our ground, we lose our friendship. I have a tough time. So opposed to turning to negative, I just went positive. I went the opposite. I found a camera. I started liking it. I started liking what I was shooting. And it was like, I think I got a little eye. And then somebody, as God always plays somebody in your, he'll play somebody for you, you know? So that's how my photography started getting on a roll. And people started seeing me and believing in me too. And they was like, hey, I want you to come shoot my event. Or listen, I'm getting married. You think you can do? So it's been growing, and I'm happy, and I have many mentors. Leslie Gomez is like one of LMG Photography. She's like one of my famous, and
I love her too.
I love her. She's the one who actually took my picture.
Oh, she did?
She did, yes. Credit to her. I told her I was going to write a book, and I need my headshots done. And she was like, okay, come on in. And she's amazing as well, because she took me underneath her wing when I first started with photography. And I would inbox her. It's like, hey, I need a friend. Not so much I need a friend, but I need a mentor. You know, I had been seeing her work and stuff like that. And I know she was like, who's this lady? You know, but she eventually, she welcomed me, and she started mentoring me. And even to this day, we don't see each other as much, but when I see her work, she's still mentoring me through the social media.
Look at God. He had all that planned in your life. It was already.
And what I learned is that, you know what, even when you're afraid to do something, just keep doing it. It is all going to turn on. If you have a passion for something, keep on doing.
I learned that. Oh my God.
In 2019, I came up with Vision to You. I should have brought my book too. So Vision to You is a mobile vision board company that I created.
Oh my goodness! Look at this! Oh my God!
I'm so excited. So I created it in 2019, and then in 2020, the pandemic happened. So it had to shut down from being mobile. But look at God, Zoom. I did one on Zoom. I did for the NAACP win, the Middlesex County. So we did it online, and we had such a great time. So this was designed for organizations. So that's who I.
You were nominated something for.
I was nominated. Oh yes, I've been nominated. I am one of the an alumni of the 100 Women of Color.
I am too.
Oh, me too.
I was 2017. I think 18, something like that. You know.
Thank God.
All right, girl.
So we sisters. We are
sisters.
Definitely sisters. I love June Archer and how he created that. So Vision to You is going really strong. So it's designed for organizations. So I've created vision boards, workshops for Middlesex Hospital and the cancer survivors. I've been back to 2 years. I just did one at Middlesex, Middletown High School. We did a district-wide. And I have one coming up for Cromwell Youth Services. We're going to do a family night. You know, so it's been, you know, between December and March, a lot of people do their vision boards. So I've been really busy with the vision boards. But I love creating, and that's the
Yeah.
visual artist in me, and bringing things to people to help them move forward in their life, you know. And as my new role as a recovery support specialist, it's important that because I'm a person who lives, a woman in long-term recovery,
Yeah.
yeah, I just want to continue to help people
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
somebody helped me along my way. You know, I didn't just arrive here with any of this.
That's
People
why I
have
just
helped
keep
me.
just smiling because again, if people
Mhm.
read this story, they'll know why. Who was in the Bible? I think there was a theme called "From the Pit to the Palace."
Mm.
Oh my God! And I'm just looking at you and thinking about all the and look where you are now. But you had to
Yeah,
go through. It was a reason you went through
it
that
was a
process, you
reason.
know, because
Mhm.
somebody would have said, "Lady, you don't understand what I'm going through,"
Right,
you know.
right.
And I understood that when I went through something, and I was saying, God, why me? Why did I go through this? But then a young man asked me one day. He said, I'm gonna give you some names to some young ladies, and I want you to call them and talk to them, pray with them. And I'm like, I'm not, I can't do that. I didn't want to do it or whatever, but I did. And once I talked to those young ladies, I was able to tell them my story.
Right.
And if I had not gone through what I'd gone through,
Yep.
they would have said, they would have said, "Lady, you don't know what I've been through. I've been through this."
Right.
But when I was able to tell them, "Oh, yes, I have."
Mhm.
And so
Mhm.
there's a purpose. There is a purpose in His plan.
It
It don't
is.
just
It
it don't
is.
just happen.
Nope,
If
it
you
does not.
believe there is a purpose
That's right.
in
That's
His
right.
plan. So
So, yep.
yeah,
And
every
I'm
time when
all
I'm hearing
about.
you talking, I'm
I'm
just
all.
smiling because I know that he set you up
Yes,
for
he
what you were
did.
gonna do.
That's right. And he keeps setting me up, and I keep walking in the light of it
Yeah.
and shining some light on other people as well.
Yeah.
You know, showing them that, yep, life can throw you some stuff.
Yeah.
But man, you get to, if you just hold on, if you just believe, you know. So I started. I've been in church with Redeemers, Pastor Shelley Best underneath her,
Yeah.
and so I'm diving in a little bit more, getting more comfortable,
Yeah.
being in church,
Yeah.
and being under Pastor Best.
Yeah.
So just learning.
Mm-hmm.
I went to Bible study the other day for the first time.
Okay.
So Redeemers has opened up my heart with some plain, simple love.
Yeah.
So I truly enjoy church
Yeah.
and all that it is offered.
Yes.
You know, I've never really been part of a church,
Okay.
and now I'm being of service there. And that does my heart well. That does my heart well. So,
Yeah.
you know, God has me just doing different things, opening up my life,
Yeah.
meeting more people, sharing my experience, my hope, my dreams.
Yeah.
With anybody that I come in contact with. I had the pleasure the other day, because of being a photographer, friends reach out and it was like, hey, you know, I got a daughter who's interested in photography. You think you could mentor her? And I'm like, yeah. You know, so I had a young lady, she's about 23, maybe 23, 25. She came to the studio the other day with her camera, and I was able to share, and I don't know a whole lot, you know, but I was able to share what I know, like with a younger woman who's dibbling and dabbling.
Yeah.
She's teetling. I don't know if I want to be a photographer. I don't know, but she's showing me her work
Yeah.
where she should be a photographer,
Yeah.
because she has a good eye.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I just keep sitting back like, God, you know, like, I don't know a whole lot, God, but what I do know, I could share with somebody else, and that's where the blessings come.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you got to share your gifts
You
that
gotta
you get.
you gotta share your gifts. Oh my God. Ah.
Because God will keep blessing you
Yes, He
as
will.
you
Yes,
bless
He
other
will.
people. And it doesn't always have, you know, it doesn't have to be about monetary. You know, when this young lady came, or when the mother asked, it wasn't, well, you know what, hey, I charge $25 an hour. It don't have to be about that,
Yeah.
because your blessings is going to come anyway. But if you have it in your heart, and I have it in my heart and my spirit to help.
Yeah.
Am I always a helper? Nope. And not all the time, but definitely things that align with my spirit. Like,
Yes,
yeah.
yes, yes.
And we gotta grab the youths. You
Yeah.
gotta get
We
with the
have to.
young ones.
Yeah.
So I became a board member in my town. I've been living in Cromwell for over 10 years, and I wanted to start aligning myself with the town that I live in, where I pay my taxes, where I live, where I have my home at. So I asked myself, what can I do? Where can I be of service in my town? So I joined the Cromwell Youth Services and got on their board.
Okay.
So we have some activities coming up, so I'm looking forward to just building with them and building with the youths and seeing what they need.
Okay. Okay.
And one of my dreams is to help the kids, but definitely girls, like the 14 and 15-year-olds, because that's when I started unraveling at 14 and 15. And if we could start grabbing them now, even reading my book, for a 14 or 15-year-old, it might save one of their lives from going down the wrong track. Because when I was 14 or 15, I wish I had somebody to, or felt comfortable. I probably did have someone, but maybe I didn't feel comfortable.
Right.
And I might have needed somebody to come and share their story with me to help me navigate, other than, my parents.
Yeah.
I was 10 when I found out that my family was not my family. That I was a 10-year-old kid. I was a little girl playing with dolls and easy bake ovens. And then my whole life was just like a rug, just pulled from underneath me of my safety net. So, and my parents, they didn't, my behaviors started to unravel then. Things were being shown by what I was doing, my actions. And they didn't know. They did the best they could. I was raised by two beautiful human beings. Like I came about because my mother couldn't have my mom couldn't have any more kids. And my father wanted a daughter. So, that's how I came about to live with them. And they were two loving, caring people, and every household is not perfect.
Right.
They my mom was the more of the disciplinary one, so she was the one that, made me be in check. And of course, I'm a young girl, who had no concept of what it is to be a parent. So I was rebellious, a typical kid, growing up.
Especially finding out at
that age.
Yeah.
Because that's a little turning point right there. 10 is, you're coming into some things at 10. And I didn't know how to navigate those feelings, those emotions. I didn't know what to do with that. No more than they knew what to do with me and stuff. They didn't. They tried. But you got to have two willing participants. They doing with their part, but I might not have been doing my part because I didn't know how. I didn't trust. When you don't have trust, when you don't have safety, especially as a child, like everything that I felt went inward. I was before finding out, I was a happy little girl, happy little kid, and until that happened. So I had learned to be expressive, but then once that happened, my expressiveness didn't come outward. It started going inward. And then I'm quite sure some of the, I don't feel good enough. Am I the reason why I'm not with my mom? I'm young. I don't know. Not expressing, not saying. So it's so important with communication. And I had to learn how to communicate because, and even today, sometimes I have difficulty communicating my feelings. I'm way better than I've ever been. But. Gotta catch the youth, catch them young so they don't be stifled and they have a voice and they can share what is really going on. Because I didn't have the ability, and not because of the outside, not because of my parents or that, I didn't have it inside of me.
What a blessing. What a blessing to have you here. And I know my son works in the school system. And it's so much, what you're saying is so much needed for the kids because they're acting out and you don't always know why they're acting out. And when he sits down and talks to them, I know he said to one kid, you know, what is going on? And he told him before he gets to school that he's already taking care of half of his little kids that are younger than him, making sure they go to, you know, make sure they eat, make sure, so this is what's happening to him, but all the people see is him acting up. Nobody stopped to say, why are you doing this? It's just like, you know, you're in trouble, but whatever. But nobody took the time to say, to ask him why he was doing what he was doing. So.
And I remember my mom and my dad, you know, seeking out help because, you know, I was a product of the foster care system and I was privy to everything. You know, I learned about plays, I learned about concerts, being at the first of the line to get a summer job, because that was very affordable. That was given to us, that was given to my parents, and for me to, and my parents pushed me. They were like, yeah, do this, go ahead and do that. They opened me up to a life, because they had lived that kind of life as well. They enjoyed movies, they enjoyed plays and stuff like that. But I remember my mom and my dad sending me to a psychiatrist, you know, because of my behaviors. But I couldn't talk to him. You know, and they left it, that was one and done for them. You know, one and done. They didn't seek out maybe a person of color. You know what I'm saying? They didn't seek out anything else. They sent me, and I just looked at him. He asked me, he showed me some pictures, and what does this look like? And I'm like, okay, it looks like this to me. But there was no follow-up. There was nothing else. So all I knew was to continue that behavior, whatever it was. All I knew was to continue that attitude, whatever it was. They didn't go that. Like today's time, there's a lot more. There's a lot more help in mental health. Social services. You know, there's a lot more specialties for kids and stuff like that. But, you know, parents, you know, we just got to do the work. You know, the work has to be done, you know. But I'm not bitter about the life that I have lived because you know what? It's a testimony to be able to be a survivor and coming from that and living living in 2024 all that I have gone through, right? All.
And you don't look like what you've been through.
I don't look nothing
you don't
like.
look like what you've been through. Oh my God, that is
not
so.
one thing.
That is so beautiful.
And you know what? It does. You know, and the last 21 years has been straight living, and due to. I'm a product of a 12-step program due to staying clean a day at a time. You know, I make the decision. I thank God in the morning and I thank him at nighttime that that I'm not using any mood, mind, or altering substance to dictate my day. Like I finally learned some tools to regulate myself. You know, so I started, I do morning meditation in the morning. A 10-minute guided meditation to set my day every morning. You know, I'll write something, I'll read something positive. Just to set the tone for my day. And I love, these are my tools in my toolbox, and I get to add tools. You know, so I'm a plant lover, I'm an animal lover. So I love nature. You know, I love growing things. You know, so yeah, that's who I am.
Oh my God, what a beautiful. Now, how would people get your book?
So I'm on Amazon under, of course, Blessed Not Bitter, the Barbara McClane Journey, and I'm on barnesandnobles.com, Blessed Not Bitter, as well. On social media, I'm under Barbreezy McClane.
I'm saying, is that her middle name?
No, my bonus son, who passed away 5 months ago, had given me that name, Barbrisi, and
Okay.
I just kept it.
Okay.
And he always said, "Oh, you're just so cool. You're just like a cool breeze. I'm gonna start calling you Barbrisi." So,
Oh, that's special. That's
rest in
special.
peace, Bashawn Brown. I'm married to his mom,
Yeah.
Kelly
Yeah.
McClane,
Yeah.
and yeah. So,
Yeah.
yeah, we've been dealing with grief, and it's not nice. And then so we lost Bashawn in September, and then in December I lost my brother
Yes.
right before Christmas, like Christmas Eve.
Mm-hmm.
And then I lost a cousin January. So I'm better at dealing with death
Yeah.
than
Yeah.
I've ever been.
Yes.
Sometimes it just stifles me.
Mm-hmm.
To know that you're here in the morning and you're gone at night. You have all these plans for life.
Yeah.
So but my wife and I and the family is every day. But we learned that hey, we're here on borrowed time, so
Yeah.
we cherish the memories and the
Yes.
good times.
Yes.
So
Yes. Yes.
yep, and matter of fact, Bashawn helped me. I dedicated and acknowledged him in my book because he's a very smart man, and the English literature and writing was his forte.
Okay.
And when I and Zima gathered some people, right? We gathered maybe 6 or 7 people to read through the first 100 pages.
Okay.
We met at the public library in Hartford, and we all had pens and pencils, red and blue pencils, and we read through the pages, and it was a lot of concrete criticism, and they helped the flow of the book. They helped me. They said, listen, this don't make sense. You need to go deeper.
Great job.
You need to omit this, but you need to go deeper. You need to tell, and because I came in with this I want to write a book. I just want to tell my story with no concept of really what it takes to write it, but with guidance, I was able to come through it. So having Enzima Hutchins as my contact manager, having 2 expertise, 2 and 3 expertise editors, and Enzima leading the way with the production part of it as well, just keeping me on track, so it was really important. So it's no ghostwriting or anything like that. I was offered that, but I learned so much about myself. I learned that I didn't know how to write, but I wasn't ashamed to say I didn't know how to write.
Yeah.
If I wanted the story to be told, I needed to remain open to learn.
Yeah.
And look what happened. We have a bestseller. We have a bestseller.
Yes, it is. And I can see why. I tell you, I couldn't. For me to get that book and read 100 or some pages, I just couldn't put it down.
Yeah, because it's a page turner. And it's simple reading, but it's a lot of little nuggets in there. Like I was reading through it yesterday. I was getting my hair done, and I was reading through it. I was like, oh my God, I wrote that. I said that. There was a lot of little nuggets.
Yeah, it's a wonderful, wonderful book. And,
thank you.
Now I want you to take a look at the. Now where's your camera? That's your camera over there. Is there anything that you would want to leave a message to the folks out there?
Oh my God, if I have to leave with anything is stay true to yourself. If you have a gift, please share it. If you have a story, please share the story. Please tell the story. There are people out in the world today that needs to hear and feel your story. It's about healing one another, a page at a time, a story at a time. And if you have not picked up Blessed Not Bitter, the Barbara McClane journey, please do so. It is, it will grab you It'll grab you by your heart and swing you with a lot of emotions, but also you'll begin to feel some healing with something that you might be going through in life. So there's a lot of little nuggets in there, and we need nuggets to live life today. We need little gold nuggets to feel good in our lives today. So thank you.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And Barbara, I just want to say one more time.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much. I had all these questions and stuff. I ain't asked none of these.
Well,
I can see why you.
one.
No, I don't want. No. I'm good because I think you've answered everything without me even asking.
Okay.
But
I hope so.
I just want to, again, thank you for taking the time to come down here because I know that your story is going to touch so many people.
Yes.
It's going to uplift so many people that think that they don't have no way out. And then, like I said, you wonder sometimes when you go through stuff, and Lord, why me type of thing, but he already have our lives planned out. We don't know it.
We don't know it.
But he knows it.
He knows.
And again, when I was sitting there reading that book and tears was coming to my eyes and stuff, I was like, wow, what a powerful book. And your transparency for people to come out. A lot of people have lived lives or gone through stuff and they don't want to tell nobody.
Right.
But they don't realize how much it's going to help. It's going to help somebody. So I just wanted to say that I appreciate you so much.
Thank you
for
so
coming down.
much.
It's so nice to just see you in all these different places and actually have a conversation without just saying, "Hi, how are you?" and not knowing who I'm talking to. But again, I can't say it enough. I appreciate you for being open.
Thank you.
And coming down, and I pray that God will continue to bless you and your family, your wife, your children, your family that you just hooked up with a couple of years ago. What a wonderful, wonderful story.
Yeah.
And I know many people would wish that, people who were adopted and stuff and wonder where they came from or who they, I know that they wish that this would happen to them.
Yes.
But it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
God had it in your path, planned it for you.
Yeah.
And so, again, I thank you. I thank you for coming today.
No, thank you. I'm honored, to be honest
we're going to go back and forth. I'm the one that's honored. No, I'm the one honored. So I thank you again. And you guys out there, we always tend to share things that are negative. This is something that's so positive. It's so needed. Oh, my God. And so I thank you guys for watching. And I've been on since, 2008. And you guys have always been watching, so I thank you. So continue to watch, and God bless you, and have a good day, night, whatever time you're going to watch this. So thank you.
Okay.
Great. Woo! Great.
You think it's good, guys?